Good afternoon and welcome to another podcast from WTF Dog Training, where only the truth matters. What we want to show you this afternoon, we've had quite a few emails and questions about recall. Now, we've seen a lot of videos on YouTube and Facebook that teach you how to do recall, and they've got a long line and so on and so forth. But the problem is, what you're doing if you're going to start putting a long line on your dog and trying to teach them recall from that position, from that start, if you like, starting with a long line in the field, you really, basically, you're putting a bandage on a broken leg. You've already got a bad recall. We need to teach the puppies recall. We need to teach your dogs recall. So what I want to do this afternoon is we took some videos from our academy classes from the puppy recall, and we're going to go through the various stages of the recall that we teach within the class. Now, this is a class situation, so we're going to teach the puppies in the class and the adult dogs in the class, but it doesn't mean you can't do it from home. If you start by doing the first part of the recall, which I'm going to show you in a minute, in the house, and then move it to the garden, and then start the second part in the house, and when you've got that perfect, move it to the garden, and then your first part will go out on the street. So it's house, garden, street, but you must teach every single step of the way, and it must be getting perfect, if you like, every single step. So let's have a look at this puppy we're going to show you now. This is a puppy, basically, it's his first week of doing the recall, so we make it very simple for him on the first week. So let's just look at the video, and I'll explain as we're going along exactly what we're actually teaching the puppy. So this is the puppy doing his recall. Okay, so this is his first week of the recall. So what we've done here is we've asked the puppy to sit and wait. Okay, what you'll see the handler do in a second or two, he'll ask the puppy to look at his face, and he'll ask him to wait. So look at him in the face, so he'll index finger to his face and ask him to wait, and then he'll start to move. So here we go, I'll talk you through it as we go along. So he's asked the puppy to wait by the index finger. He's taken a small step back, and then he takes a small step forward, and then he praises the dog. Then we move to the second part. That's the first easy part. The second part, what you're going to see is he's going to ask the puppy to wait and watch you, and watch him, ask him to wait with the index finger, a small step back, and then what he's going to do is move around the side of the puppy. So take a side to the step and ask him to wait, and then another side to the step and ask him to wait again. He'll ask another side step, and then he'll go back again. And each time he asks the puppy to wait, as you can see with the index finger, he asks the puppy to wait each time. Okay, and that's the second part, the first and second part of the recall. So that's what we would teach the puppies for the first and second part of the recall. And that's a very simple step, but first of all, you get it in the house. Yep, where you take that first little step back, ask the puppy to wait, take that little first step back, so the puppy realizes, or the adult dog realizes, you are going to move. Okay, you're moving, and the puppy or the adult dog has to wait. Okay, the wait there, and it's just a very small step, about 10 inches or so, just so the dog realizes that you are going to move. Okay, and then after 3 or 4 seconds, you go back to the dog, wait 3 or 4 seconds before you praise them. That 3 or 4 seconds in the end, when the end result, as you'll see with one of our adult dogs, one of our trained dogs, if you like, what you'll see, that 3 seconds before you give them a treat, that allows you to be able to put the lead on them. So when you call your dog back on the field, they sit in front of you, and they're able to put the lead on. So that's the first and second part of the recall. Okay, so very simple steps. We're WTF Dog Training, working in conjunction with the Happy Dog Training Academy, a non-profit organisation. All the profits we do make go into rescue dogs that we teach, and we teach the puppy class, we teach the adult class. So have a look at the next video where we'll show you the end result. Okay, so have a look at the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye now. Good afternoon and welcome to WTF Dog Training. This second part of the video, so we're going to go into the second part of the video that we did on the recall. If you remember what we did in the beginning, we asked the dog to sit, we asked the dog to wait, we took a small step back, waited 3 seconds, took a small step forward, we waited 3 seconds, and then we praised the dog. A very simple step in the first video. And then the second part of that was to actually move around the dog at a 90-degree angle to his shoulder and back the other side to the other shoulder and back, just so the puppy understands that you're moving. And then what you want to do is you just want to get further and further and further away. Okay, and then call your dog to you and ask them to sit, so you get a decent recall. So that would be the build-up stage, if you like, where you would ask the puppy to sit and wait, or the dog to sit and wait. You'd move 3 or 4 steps back while they're on the lead. in the house, then the garden, have them on the lead so they can't stray and disappear on you, ask them to come to you, and then ask them to sit. And the final result would be this video we're going to show you now. This is a dog which is called Boulder. He's a border collie. He's a 9-month-old border collie now, and he's just going through the final stages of his recall. So here we go, just watch the video and I'll talk you through it. So as you can see, the owners asked him to sit and wait using the index finger and then walk away. Walk away a certain distance, and then I would just say to him, halt and turn round. Wait 3 to 4 seconds, and then you call your dog to you. You ask him to sit in front of you, and then you send him to heel where you want him, back where he should be in the first place. Okay, so he sits to get his lead on. We're going to see that again as the owner walks around to the left-hand side of the bollards, the cones, and she asks him to sit and wait again. And if you watch, a small step to the side as she walks away, just a tiny one, and then the dog walks away, or the owner walks away, and then turns around, looks at the dog, opens the leg slightly to call him, and then calls the dog to you, and then he sits right in front of you, and that's his perfect recall. And then ask him to go back to heel where you want to be able to put his lead on. And that's basically how we teach the dogs within the class of how to do a recall. Okay, so that's the basic recall. There's several ways of doing it really, but the principles are: you tell your dog to sit, ask them to wait, take a small step back, walk around the side so they realize you're going to move at different angles to the dog, and then start building up. So you do 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps, 5 steps, and get your dog to come to you. Ask them to sit right in front of you before you do anything else. We don't want the dog straying or disappearing on you at all. So we want the dog to be able to sit and wait, and that's the main thing, is to sit and wait. So let's have a quick look at another dog that's going to do a recall for us. So this is a dog, this is a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, and she's getting on with a recall, but she still makes slightly a few mistakes in the recall. So we'll just play this video and we'll just show you exactly what I mean as I talk you through this one, a Staffordshire Bull Terrier doing another recall. So here we go with the Staffy doing the recall. Now the owners took the lead off, ask her to sit and wait, index finger, and then as he walks away, but this time when he gets a certain distance, the dog gets up. As you'll see, she gets up there, so we take him straight back to the beginning, no praise, go back to the beginning because she did it wrong, and then put her back in the weight again. When she's ready, we'll just put her back in the weight, and then he'll ask her, but he'll reinforce it this time. As he walks away, he'll tell her to wait, and then he'll reinforce it just there, wait. See, and then he reinforces it, and again reinforce it, get it so he can move that distance away. And then he'll turn and face her, he'll call her to him as she sits, but this time we'll do a slightly different finish to heel, where she pops over and back to heel. So we'll just see that video clip again, because they are quite quick. We realize they are quite quick when you're doing videos like this. So we'll just see that again. You get the owner, walks around, sits her back on the other side, ready to do another recall in front of other dogs. So she has to sit, ask her to wait, and then you'll be able to see him reinforce it as he walks away. As he goes away, wait, and then he steps away, wait again, reinforcement, and reinforce it there. She stands up again, so he makes her sit, asks her to wait. And then as he turns round, he's got his finger up, asks her to wait, that's reinforcement, calls her to him, she sits right in front of him, able to put the lead on if he wants to, but he can make her sit to heel. Okay, and then as he goes to heel, he can pop the lead on, and that's the exercise finished. And that's the ultimate end of the recall, if you like. So he starts off in the beginning and moves across to the end of the recall. And that all started exactly where we taught him. So let's just have a quick look at another dog that we're going to show you. This one's a Cockapoo, I believe, that's going to do the recall for you. And it's the same principle, only she does it slightly different on the finish. Okay, getting them back to heel. So we're going to watch this video now, this dog doing a recall. So the owner's going to pop him into the recall position. She asks him to sit and wait, pops his lead off. This is one of our advanced dogs. So she asks him to wait again, small step to the side, and then she walks away. She walks away. She doesn't have to reinforce it because the dog's well practiced at this. Is an emo support animal, this one is. And then you'll see her call him to her, open legs. As she gets to him, shut the legs and wait, and then indicate to him to go back to the heel position. Okay, and then she'll pop him round and just show you that from the front. So we're going to get the dog back in the sitting position, ask him to wait, Obviously, we do this in the venue. We can't let them off the lead and just let them run round. So it's a predictable recall. She walks away. No need to reinforce it because the dog's well practiced. This, as I say, is an emo support animal for her. Um, then she'll call him, open the legs slightly. He comes straight through. Close the legs, and then indicate to go back to the heel position. Then he sits, she asks him to wait again, and then she can pop the lead on him, and she treats. Okay, so that's the ultimate goal that we look for within the recall position. And that all starts off, as I say, from the beginning, where you ask the dog to sit and wait, and then you took a small step to the side, and a small step backwards, and then you build that up to 2, 3, 4 steps, 5 steps, 6 steps. Okay, and then eventually you start calling dog to you, ask them to sit in front of you, which is what you'll do as you practice, and it all builds up to a really good recall. And then when you're out in the field, because the dog's well practiced at coming to you, index finger, you call the dog's name, he comes to you, sits in front of you, and it's a predictable recall. And the reason why we do it in class this way is because obviously we can't just allow the dogs to run round and expect them to come, because it's a small venue, it's a class. Yep. So we teach them that way, small step, and we build it up from there. And as you can see, by the time the dogs got good at it, then it doesn't matter how many dogs you've got in, they ignore the other dogs and they come straight back to you. And that's the ultimate recall, is when your dog comes back to you, it doesn't go wandering off. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this podcast from WTF Dog Training, working in conjunction with a Happy Dog Training. I'm Graham, Master Dog Trainer and Canine Behaviourist. We're going to pop some more videos on predictable recalls, sit stays, down stays, heel work, that sort of thing, just to show you how we teach them in class. But this is the way we teach them, and I've been doing it for 30 years. Obviously, things have changed, things have upgraded, but these are predictable recalls. None of the fancy stuff, none of the rubbish, none of the BS. This is how we teach recalls within the class, and it works on the outside, because the people that you've seen tonight, they only come for 1 hour a week. 1 hour a week in class. The rest of the time, they teach the dog in the house, in the garden, and then out on the street. And they get the same results on the street or in the house that you see in class. Okay, so enjoy the videos. Wait and have a look at our other videos. Like and share, because it all supports us, and we teach rescue dogs with the profits we make from the academy and from the WTF Dog Training, from the podcast. Enjoy the podcast. We'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye for now.